Hi everyone, welcome to Hilltop View Journals. Today I'm working on my daily spread again, a collaboration hosted by RachandBella Crafts, and we are working on day 13. And day 13 is my perfect day. And we are working with Lavish Laces and Phyllis Joseph, who is on the admin team and design team, and she will be posting her makes over on Facebook and Instagram. And let's have a look at what we've got here. So my perfect day, it's a gatefold page. So I have done like the easiest gatefold ever, which I'm hoping you will find useful. And I followed a tutorial by the Twisted Paper Studio, which will be linked in my description box. So this is the one that we're going to make together. So I fitted this into my 5x5" journal. And it's a really, really simple gatefold. And when it opens, it's a little bit stiff because I've used brads. But when it opens, you can then see I've got a nice, pretty little notepad there, and I've also got a tag in the back there, so I created a pocket out of the gatefold. And then this one fits into my writing journal, which is over here. So I haven't glued this in place yet, but this will go on the front cover there. And again, I have got this open, and it opens a lot easier because I've used eyelets there. And I've got some paper which I'll secure in place there. And I will also probably glue this in 3 sides and then have something sticking out there. So maybe a journaling card or something like that. So there's loads of different things you can do with these. Once you've got the base, you can embellish them and position them in your journal in so many different ways. So they're a lot of fun. But I will be showing you how to make this one. So please join me for the fun. If you're anything like me and you've got to day 13 and you've done something every day, you're now working in a pit of chaos. You can't find anything. Your head's gone completely. You can't think further than your nose. And so you need something extremely simple to work on today. If that's you, I've got the answer. If you want something more complicated, unfortunately, I haven't got that answer. But simple gatefold I can do. And this was inspired by Twisted Paper Studio, so I will link her video in the description box. Her video is literally 5 minutes long, and she just shows you a really simple way. And she shows you a different size. And she also shows you how she makes it in an A5 journal. So it's well worth having a look at how she does this. I've made one for my writing journal, and I was going to pop it here. And you can see that I've made it so that it just about fits on the inside cover of the signature. And what you can do, I haven't glued it down because I wanted to be able to just pull it out and show you. But you can make this into a tuck spot there, or you could just glue these 2 sides and make a big tuck spot. You could glue 3 sides and just make a side tuck spot, or you could make this into a pocket and put a tag there. Loads of ideas. And then, of course, there's all different versions of doing this. I've cut the edges here with this scallop punch, which I love. It's well worth. If you can invest in one of these, they're brilliant. And I'll show you what I've done inside. I've done just really, really simple. So I've created the little gate doors, shall we call them. I don't know why they call this a gatefold, because really these are doors. So I could be wrong completely, and this isn't called a gatefold, but I'm going with this now because my mind is set on it. So you can correct me in the comments, and I will gladly take on your advice. Inside then, I've just got a simple notepad. Spent literally 2 seconds putting this together from scraps. Again, you can glue this in place, and you can glue it whichever way you want. I haven't bothered gluing it for now. I've just popped it in there because it's secure. And then I've just got some string tying together through some eyelets. So that's what we're going to make. I'll make it for the size of my 5x5" journal so you can see the difference. And if you've got time, I'll also make a larger one, so you can then see the proportions and what you need to think about as you're making it. So I'm just going to pop that to the side. And I've got a piece of double-sided printed paper, which you will need because you'll be seeing the outside and the inside. And I can't even see where my journals are. It's that bad in this room. I promised myself on the weekend I was going to tidy up, but time's been so short that I've just spent all the time creating the videos and doing the page spreads, not actually doing what I should be doing, which is tidying up. Right, I've spotted my journals. I'll go and grab them. And did you notice I said journals, plural? Yep, I'm going to have to fess up. I've completely stuffed this one and we're only on day 13. So I'm in a bit of trouble. There's not much more I can fit in here. So I'm going to have to start a new one. And luckily, I got some bedding for my son on the weekend. And inside the packaging of the bedding, there was some cardboard, perfectly shaped, and it's huge. So I've got at least another journal this side that I can make out of it. Oh, I've got it on the floor here. Yes, on the floor, because everything is on the floor. So I've got another one here, which is bigger. So I can make a journal out of that as well. Perfect, and it's a perfect thickness as well. It's kind of similar to this cardboard. And it's got a bit of a strange pink tone to it. You probably can't see it on the camera, but I don't think I even need to do anything to the cover. I can just like put a topper on there and it's done. How lush is that? So yeah, I've split up my journal pages, my signatures, added a couple of more blank pages, and I'm going to actually have to start a new journal. I'm not going to stress about it. It's just the way it is. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. I could, of course stop this, stop the challenge here, because I've got a nice full journal, but I don't want to do that because I want to share what I'm making with everyone. So I will make this gatefold to fit on the inside cover here. And so you obviously want to have quite a bit of distance going this way. So I'm working on the landscape, and I did actually glue mine together, so I can't quite show you how it folds out, but it'll take me 2 seconds to do this, she says, and then hopefully you can see how it works out. So I'm not gonna cut it to size this way, sort of that way first, because that can be done at the end. Let's have a look at what we need to do for the fold. So the pattern that you want on the doors, you want behind, and then you want to find your bits of paper that you're going to make a notepad out of, if that's what you intend to do. So I've got some scrappy bits here. So you want to find the piece that's the largest. I don't want it too big because obviously it's fitting into a small journal, but I think that's probably the biggest piece. So I've got that and that, and I'm obviously going to make this. Oh, actually, I think I'll leave those because they're quite thick. So I'm going to use thin paper to try and cut down a bit on the bulk. And so I've got a bit of music paper here, and I've got this printed paper, which is great. And this is really nice and thin. And have I got any pattern paper here? I'm trying to use up all my scraps. I haven't got any interesting paper. Oh, hang on. I've got that. So that will be okay. Let's use that. And let's work out which is the thickest piece. So we got about this. This one I think is the thickest piece. So we'll pop that in the middle there. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold all around it. Now, I've got no room to work. It's really bad. And what you want to do is you're kind of folding it over itself. So don't fold straight away. Just try and get it so it's equal before you put your creases in. Actually, I've told you something wrong, I can see already. Okay, the pattern needs to be on that side. Nearly did it, see? There we go. Right, bear with me. So you fold that way, and then you fold that way, and then you've got the size. So this is really important because it's obviously going to fit on the page or inside your journal cover like mine is. And you might want to get a bone folder. So I used sheet music on my last one, but I'm going to use the kit on this one. It'd be nice if I folded this straight actually. And these are lovely bases to just embellish. They're great. So you kind of want equal doors, but you know, I don't think I've got equal doors on my other one. I don't think you can really tell because I've got a gap there, so I wouldn't worry too much. But we'll see what this one turns out like now. So you fold it back. And I can pop this out. And you fold this one back. And actually you can't see this at all. So unless you're moving it out of your journal and you're not securing it in place, I guess you could get away with single-sided printed paper. So I misled you, apologies. So that is the gatefold, your doors. It's as simple as that. And you can see the type of fold you got there. And then you glue this side and glue that side. So I'm just going to put mine down the middle because I'll probably stitch on mine. And just glue it in place. And what you can do then is you can shape your doors. So I've got this punch. You could use a round punch. You could draw and cut, whatever you've got. I'm just going to pop this in here because it's nice and quick. And before I do the bottom, I'm going to now measure this and see where I want to cut it. And trying to get reasonably straight. Am I going to find a pencil? Probably not. Let's grab another one. This is probably the 5th pencil I've got on my desk. The joys of a daily challenge. And that's why it's a challenge. Because trying to do something every day does put you in a little bit of a chaos. Now I can't even see where I marked that now. Where did I mark that? Trying to find my knife. So I've got enough there to make another one. 2 for 1 here, guys. 2 for 1. Yep, that's about right. Okay. There it is. So if you were putting some cards or ephemera in here, so if I just grab something for a minute, then what you could do is put some paper in the background because you know you'd want something that was contrasting. So possibly, oh, let's grab something here. She says, you know, so you could put something there like that and stick it down and that will be contrasting. But I'm not going to bother because I'm going to pretty much cover a lot of that. And I'm going to ink around here. So I'm using fairly heavyweight paper for this. It's 140 GSM. Which I don't know what the pound is. It's sort of in US terms, but 80 GSM is our standard copier paper, and this is 140, so that gives you an idea of how much heavier this is to normal copy paper. But I think copy paper would be fine because you're doubling up on the doors, which are going to take the most use. And I guess you could strengthen that if you were really worried about it, but there's only me that's going to be using this journal. Okay, so I'm just going to go and stitch around now just to give this a little bit of interest. That's all stitched. Of course, you could add a pocket in here. You could add pockets on the side there. You could even add pockets on the doors that are folding. So many options for decorating this. It's brilliant. I've used eyelets. Didn't quite get them in the right position, so this time I'm just going to try and do a better job, and I'm going to use, oop, lost it there. Of course I can't think of the name of these. It'll come to me in a minute. Or it'll come to me when it's off camera and I'm editing this video. And now I need my punch right in front of me. I'm just going to use my crocodile because it's within reach. And I'm going to use the small, although I think it could potentially be too big. Let's try this. Brad, there we go. See, did get there. Did get there eventually. My little old brain. Move that out the way so I can't find it. And I'm not going to tie these too tight a minute. I'm not going to fold them too tight because I need to put the twine around. Oops. Doesn't want to go in. And I've got some twine here. So you don't actually need that much twine. I keep on cutting too much. Of course, this is slightly different because I've got to actually this won't work as easily as it does because in this one you just push them through. So what I'm going to do is pull them out, pop the twine in first. This has become a video of how not to do it. I do apologise. Even this has happened, look. It's untwined itself. Is there such a word? Untwined. Now I've just thought about another problem about using a brad, because you want to be able to open this, so you're going to have to leave it fairly loose. Again, with the eyelets, it just moves with it, so you don't have to worry, but you will worry about it with the brad. So we'll see how it goes, and if it doesn't work, then I'll try something else. It should work. Okay, so that's the little tie, and I think actually it needs a different colour. So I'm going to pull that out for now, find another bit of twine and sort that out in a second. But while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go and do the paper now. So we'll pop that there, pop those there, and let's get this paper sorted. So I want to do it so that you can see each layer of the paper. And I think I need some contrasting bits of paper here. Don't really want blue. Let me go and grab some of the scraps. Okay, so I'm going to quickly make this up. So we just have the longest part in the back there. We'll cut that down to about there. And then we can have that piece. And then maybe we can have that piece like that. And I'll just cut that off a little bit at the top so it fits. And then I'm going to pop that on. I was hoping to fit all that picture in, but it doesn't look like it wants it. So let's cut it down and see how much I can fit in. I'm off camera now. I can feel I'm off camera. So I will try harder to be on camera. Let's cut that there. So we've got all different shapes and sizes going on here. And you can make these bits of paper as interesting as you want. But that's simple enough for me. And I'm going to add a little bit of lace to the top. And fold it around. And in fact, what I might do is just glue these into position as well, because it'll just make life a whole lot easier. Okay, like that. And I'm just going to stitch now the back. Sorry, I'm going to stitch along the top, I should say. Just along there so that you can quite easily then rip these up. But of course this is going to be a decorative element and I'm not going to use these scrappy bits of paper, but you could very much create a very useful notebook like this. I'm going to punch these edges as well with, which one do I want to scallop? There we go. That's that. Do a little bit of inking. And of course you could make these much prettier than what I'm doing, or embellish. Could really make this look nice. So I'm just going to pop some glue on there in a sec when my machine, my glue gun is heated up. And I've got some rustic baker's twine. We'll see if that will make a difference. Now, will I be able to get it through the hole? Maybe. Let's see. No. I don't want to play ball. So a really easy option would be to use reinforcement rings instead of what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so that will tie. Okay, brilliant. And then I just need to place some glue on the back here. So I will pop some glue and secure it in place. Like that. So that gets that bit done. And then let's have a look at how this is going to look on here. So I think the rustic twine looks much better. You could put little dangles there. And I'm not going to secure it in place just yet because I do want to do a little bit of decorating. And I was thinking of using one of the hidden paper clips. I thought that would easily just slide like that. That would make a very quick embellishment. And we just need something there. So let's have a look at what I've got hanging around here because, oh, I can't find anything. Maybe that's a bit big. Let's use one of those. Got some scrappy bits of lace. Just trying to reuse whatever's on my table here. A little bit big, but I can't seem to find anything else, so I'm going to have to run with it. And I did wonder whether I could pop a little bit of paper on there, but this might be a bit too much. Yeah, I like that. Just simple. And at this stage, it really does need to be simple. And I'd love to know how everybody's getting on with the challenge. Are you watching? Are you giving the daily prompts a go? I think it was the material that was too big, perhaps. I can't seem to get this right. It's very odd, isn't it, how sometimes a small little thing just doesn't go. I'm just going to stitch that in place. And so I'm hoping that the tag, it actually is quite a big tag, I might have to cut it down. And it is rather plain on the back, so yeah, I will cut it down. And I will stitch it on the bottom a little bit later. So let's cut it down that much. Should have checked that before I started playing with it. There we are, that's better. And so I'm going to create this as a pocket, and then the tag will be behind it. So I'm going to have to be really quick here with my glue. Okay, that is in place. Okay, so I've loosely glued that in place. I'm just going to secure it a little bit better here. And there we have our gatefold. So just snuck in a little bit of washi there because I liked the word beginning. And this is at the beginning of the journal. And of course I have spent this few minutes of fun doing what I absolutely love and what brings me joy. And for me, that meets the prompt for today perfectly. I'm just going to try and dig out who is on the list today. So we're on day 13 and it's Lavish Laces and Phyllis Joseph. So Phyllis will be posting her makes on Facebook and also Instagram, and I'll link Lavish Laces YouTube channel in the description box. So my perfect day, of course, my perfect day is most definitely spending it crafting, and I'm sure most of the people watching this will feel the same as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this YouTube video today, and I will link Twisted Paper Studios tutorial in the description box. So go have a look at what she's done and how simple this is. I think it was a little bit of a faff towards the end there, probably because I'm rushing a little bit as it's getting late. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.